upstairs. I'll show you a bit around those DJI. I forget what the name is. This video will be hello and welcome. Today we're in the board with bricks. Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be showing my winter village's regression, the status of the Brickhammer armies, and some behind the scenes look at what's in the works. The intro was my first of many attempts to make this video completely unscripted. I canned that idea after tripping over my words and forgetting where I was going with some of my commentary. So back to scripting it is for this video. The village now features a nice little forest of 20 brick-built Lego trees. I'd mentioned last year I would be updating the pond and replacing the 1x2 trans blue tile with the 1x5 opalescent wall element. Clearly that didn't happen. I do expect to correct that this year. Another feature of this year's winter village is the unsightly gap between my mills plates. The intent here is to have each mills plates be 2 bricks high to ensure there's enough space to accommodate the lighting wires. I intend to install lights in each building along with the light posts. Raising the village base plate will allow me to keep the pond area at 1 brick high. I still have about 20 plates to raise. I haven't connected the lights yet as I currently don't have enough lights, but also because the light escapes from the back since they do not have any back walls. I'll be making heavy modifications to the Winter Village toy shop, turning it into a Lego store with a vintage look. I might take inspiration from the modular series to update the village main street, which is currently barren. Moving to the central area, we have some local residences, the Winter Cottage, Santa's Visit, and my house. None of these have lights right now, and will all need back walls. I have some renovations to do on the base plates here as well. To the right of the residences, we have the log cabin and a slightly modified A-frame cabin. A key difference here is the new brick-built trees. Placed beside the log cabin, they look small. I didn't end up purchasing Santa's post office as it didn't really appeal to me, nor would it fit with the aesthetics of my village. Lastly, the mountain this year is missing mostly due to not setting up the IKEA Big Lick boxes. I still have all the netting to build for my mountain, which my SSX characters are waiting anxiously to ride. Moving upstairs, the first room is the Medieval Fantasy Collection. I have a few new sets that I will be building along with various builds placed hazardously on the floor. A few fun hole sets, the tower and 2 training grounds. I'll build one with the lights and one without as I want to test a theory. I was eyeballing the Blue Bricks Tavern for a while and decided to give it a go. Expect to see that later in the year. The trees looked really good, so I picked them up at the same time. Moving over, we have the forge, and a few days ago the tailor shop arrived. Those will be for later in the year as well. The Light My Bricks package, which I haven't opened yet, was received in July 2024. I wanted to try out lighting buildings with fun hole sets before buying more lighting pieces. The Lego Blacksmith, my favorite of the 2020's Lego Castle theme. Beside that, we have a couple of Medieval Town Square sets, and the buildings are dwarfed by the Blacksmith and Fun Hole Medieval Market. I may make a video on why I do and do not like the Lego Medieval Village. I do have the Fun Hole Apothecary, and that video should be coming out shortly as I just need to record the voiceover. Lastly is the Dungeons & Dragons set, which is a love-hate scenario. I like the build and would have liked to have purchased another set. Unfortunately, I did not want a second dragon. Speaking of unfortunate, I forgot I bought the Speed Champions Ferrari and wound up getting another. I'll donate the second to Toy Mountain later this year. At the bottom of my pile of sets are 4 more blacksmiths. I'll be using the pieces to make more houses. The original Kingdoms chest set is glorious. Both factions here are nicely detailed. I did purchase knockoff Dragon Knights from AliExpress. I think that is what I received earlier this week. I'll open the package once we get to the studio. I bought 6 Lego Harry Potter Thestral sets. The Thestrals will be used as nightmares for my undead army. Looking at the armies on the bed, I won't go into too much detail on these as I'll make videos for each faction once they are complete. Rules around my army building: each army should fit onto 2 base plates, point values to not exceed 2000, and no siege weapons, tanks, and the like. The Lion Knights are the empire of the group. I'm still missing some cavalry units that I want to use as elector counts. The Black Falcons, being the Bretonnians, need a lot more cavalry units, about half a base plate. The Undead Army is the most complete faction. In back is a Thestral with the other vampires waiting their mounts. The Orc Army is missing quite a few soldiers, although I did find a minifigure similar to this on AliExpress, which was paired with a Black Warg. I don't have a Black Warg, so I may just purchase one to compare the figures. Next is the Golden Knight Army, based on the Dogs of War faction in Warhammer Fantasy. Annoyingly, Capes for Minifigures released a new cape design called Knight Armor Cape. These capes seem to fit beautifully over pauldrons. It's frustrating because I'll probably change all the equipped capes for these new designs. Finally, we have the Chaos Army. Nowhere near complete. Let's move these trees to get a better view. I do want to show this Chaos Sorcerer. When I had my Chaos Army, my Sorcerer was mounted on a disc of Tzeentch. I feel the Lego Manta captures the essence of this character. Quite a few missing units for my army. There could be anywhere from 4 to 6 armies of Chaos, one for each of the 4 gods, Chaos Undivided, Beastmen, and even Ogres. I didn't buy much of the LEGO Minifigure Series 26, the Space Set, but I did want one figure for this faction. One of the figures comes with a mutated leg and arm, which I'm using for the standard bearer. This torso, and every other in this regiment, have the police and old firefighter torsos. These will be covered up with black plate armor. Let's move over to the studio and see what's there. Here's a quick look at what I'm working on. LEGO Minifigure Series 27 packs of the Beastmaster, which are very difficult to find now. I've seen full boxes of this series on shelves with only the Beastmaster having been purchased, and that's a topic I would like to address in a later video. LEGO investing versus LEGO scalping. These 2 packages just came in, so I'm curious to see what's inside. Let's take out the trusty knife. Ah, here we are. The Dragon Knights I mentioned earlier. I'm not seeing any arms with these, so I'm a little confused. That will be for another video. And in this other package, whoops, I cut right through and hit something. Aha, my missing Lego pieces. I'll finish a few more trees with these pieces, so that's good news. On that note, that is all for this video. Let me know what videos you are most interested in seeing. Thanks to everyone supporting the channel with views and comments. More importantly, keeping those comments classy and geared towards dialogue. I'll see you in the next one.